In this video, you're going to be setting up an Express app, and in the next one, we're going to look at how we can test it to verify that the data that comes back from our routes is what the user should be getting. Now, before we do any of that, we are going to need to create an Express server, and that's the goal of this video. Nothing new, we've done it before. I'm going to move through this pretty quickly since it's not new. We're going to use npm i, which is short for install, to install Express. Remember, you can always replace install with I, and we're going to grab the most recent version at 4.14.0. And this time around, I'm going to be using the save flag as opposed to the save dev flag that we've used for everything in this section. This is going to install Express as a regular dependency, which is exactly what we want. We need Express when we deploy to production, whether it's Heroku or some other service. Back inside of the app, if I open up package.json, we now have dependencies, which we've seen before, and dev dependencies, which is new to this section. This is how we can break up which dependency is which. From here, we're going to go ahead and make a server folder inside of the root of the project where we can store the server example as well as the test file. I'm going to make a directory called server. Then inside of here, I'll make a file called, you guessed it, server.js. The server.js file is going to contain the actual code that starts up our server. We're going to define our routes. We're going to listen to a port. All of that stuff is going to happen in here. This is what we had before for the previous server section. Const express is going to get equal to the require express return result. Next up, we can go ahead and make our application by creating a variable called app and setting it equal to a call to express, just like this. Then we can start configuring our routes. I'm going to go ahead and set up just one for this video, app.get. And this is going to set up an HTTP GET handler. The URL will be just / the root of the website. And when someone requests that, for the moment, we're going to specify a really simple string as the return result. We get the request and the response object like we do for all of our Express routes. And to respond, we're going to call it response.send, sending back the string, hello, world. Excellent. The last step in the process is going to be to listen on a port using app.listen. I'm going to bind to port 3000 by passing it in as the first and only argument. With this in place, we are now done. We have a basic Express server. Before we move on to the next video and explore how to test these routes, all I want to do is start it up. I'm going to do that using node space server / server.js. When I run this, we don't get any logs because we haven't added a callback function for when the server starts, but it should indeed be up. If I go over to Chrome and visit localhost 3000, here we go. We get hello world printing to the screen. If you see this, then you are done. You are ready to move on to the next video where we are going to start testing our Express application. Stay tuned. I will see you then.